Hi, it's Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky, and I'm back with my plans and pans. Unfortunately, it's mostly pans right now, not wonderful things that were promised by the president, President Trump. The things were going to come your way, our way, the way of people who are really needing help. Instead, what we are seeing is the money going to the top, to the wealthiest Americans. For example, Elon Musk's companies get from the government of the United States $8 billion a day. So is anybody investigating perhaps waste, fraud, and abuse that is ending up in the pockets of Elon Musk? No. They are more interested in how expensive it is to have Social Security recipients getting $65 a day. This has got to change. We heard promises from the president that he would never do anything to cut Social Security. He also promised that he wasn't going to cut Medicaid or Medicare, and that has not turned out to be true either. This was a scam by the president and now his sidekick, Elon Musk. I have decided to make it my business to go to every protest that is taking place. There are always people outside, union people, who have been fired, just fired, and told to leave their jobs, making our government work for ordinary people. I have been to events at the Department of Treasury. I went to a huge rally of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. They're trying to get rid of it. There's still a fight going on. Also was at the Department of Education. And guess what? There were about 30 members of Congress who wanted to talk to the people at the Department of Education and at least set up a time to meet with them and understand what do they really want to do to the Department of Education. What we've heard is they want to just get rid of it altogether. So there we were. We were standing in front of that office. It says this is the open office. And a man with a t-shirt said that we were not allowed to go in. Understand, these are members of Congress, one of which is a teacher of the year. The guy in the t-shirt just shook his head. You're not coming in. When we looked through the screen that was behind him, we saw that there was a whole line of officers that were prepared to hold back the members of Congress. It was absolutely shocking. Every single day, there has had to be some kind of protest, many different groups saying all they want to do, all these workers want to do, is to do the jobs that they have been doing for the American people year after year, who have the expertise to actually make things run in the United States of America. But they instead are making it impossible for members of Congress, for workers, for people who really care about government being efficient, absolutely excluded. And what about prices? Do you recall the new president saying, you're going to see all these high prices go down? The absolute opposite is what has happened. We have seen the president want to raise the cost of prescription drugs. Now, under the Biden administration, we had a negotiation to lower the prices of prescription drugs. Trump says absolutely no to that plan. And what about eggs? What about food? What about housing? Have we seen anything that has even been hinted about to actually bring prices down? And I wouldn't hold my breath to expect to see it. President Trump also said that he was going to protect Medicare and Medicaid. As it happens, he's been pushing actually for legislation now that would take away the certainty of being able to get your health care. It is horrifying to think that millions and trillions of dollars is going to be taken out of health care and instead given to the richest of the rich, who certainly don't need help to make sure that they get the best health care in the world. In the richest country in the world, at the richest moment in history, we are right to believe that people who need health care in the United States of America should be able to get it and not wait for crumbs coming off the tables of the richest people. Pay attention to what happens next week. I'll be heading back to Washington, and there will likely be a vote to see what is going to happen to fund the health care that we need, that we expect in our country. It's very important, and I think uplifting, to realize that the positions that the Trump administration wants to take are very unpopular. I was at a press conference last week and said, if you want to take away our Social Security and our Medicare, make my day, make our day, because those are such unpopular positions. And let's see what they are going to do about that, and then what we are going to do about that. I want to talk a bit about immigration. The city of Chicago and our communities, we are stronger because of immigrants, and yet people are being arrested. I want to tell you one thing, though. There was some disappointment about how Illinois handled it, because there was such great work telling people how to know their rights if someone was coming to deport them. And it limited the number of people who actually were deported, and there was some complaining about Chicago that we knew too much and we hurt the quotas. That was positive. And this was very organized by organizations. The Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights had a huge rally that I was privileged to go to. Over 500 people gathered demanding that immigrants have justice and not be arrested, and teaching again how to avoid being caught and arrested. It's not perfect. Some people are, even some being sent to Guantanamo Bay. I mean, just meanness is part of what they want to do. And yet we have employers who would like to see more and more immigrants getting work permits, so there are enough people to do the jobs that are needed in our communities. I met with a number of the executive directors and employees of immigration organizations who are working so hard to protect the people that they are working to support. I went to Central Romero, which is on the north side of Chicago, and met to hear the kinds of work that they're doing to train people and prevent people from being deported. Also met with a wonderful organization called Refugee One, and many Afghan people work there and work for people who are from Afghanistan. But those workers can't get their own families their children, their wives into the United States. So that was an important meeting that I had, and we need to do more. What's really hard to think about is that a number of the people who were already cleared to be able to come to the United States, but Trump said no, they can't. So therefore, these families now are separated, and we have to make it right. I want to end on a positive note. You know, I'm a fighter, especially when I see the kinds of things that are wrong that are happening right now. And I am seeing more and more people. I want to thank you all who are protesting, who are looking for their own voice to speak out against what is happening in the United States of America, the protection of our rights and our values. And you know what we say, or what I say, most people believe too, that when we fight, we win. This is the moment in history where we are saving our country and what it stands for. So let's stay at work. Let's be brave. Let's speak out. And let's just keep fighting, and we will win. Thank you for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, where my handle is @Jan Schakowsky.